We're here on the Baseline Podcast. Mayor and I are in studio, and we got Tre Jackson from
What's up?
Columbia, South
Columbia, South
Carolina.
Carolina,
Columbia, South Carolina,
with us on
803.
Zoom. So Tre played 3 years at Iowa State, and then he
Mhm.
transferred over to Western Carolina, where he played 2 years, and then
Mhm.
most recently he played in Poland this season, becoming the MVP, and then also winning the championship.
For sure. Appreciate it.
Huge,
Yeah.
congratulations.
It's a
Congratulations,
blessing.
man.
Thank you. It's a blessing. All God. It's all God.
So I'll tell you
All
really
God in the
quick.
work.
I'll tell you really quick what we do here on the baseline. As John mentioned before, we want to be a voice for athletes that are overseas. We know what it takes to do it overseas, how different it is from especially playing in the U.S. But we've also had players from all over the world come in on this podcast, and it's an opportunity to kind of tell your story, explain what it was like, what were some of the difficulties that happened in transitioning to play in a new country, a new place. But most of all, we just are here in Israel. We love overseas basketball, just like as a whole. And that's
Mhm.
what we're trying to do. We're trying to show the game to more people, show how awesome it is, show how possible it is for, top tier athletes and top tier players to come out and be so successful in Europe, just like you. So, first of all, as we already said, congratulations on a great season. But I like to kind of
Appreciate it.
start from a little bit back. Tell us a bit about your upbringing. You said in South Carolina, and a little bit about what basketball meant to your family and when you kind of started to get into it.
Well, like basketball is my whole family. I grew up playing basketball since I was like 2 or 3 years old. I was playing in little rec leagues and everything, where you play. You can't go outside the paint. You have to let everybody shoot and type stuff. So it's those type of games on low rims and all that stuff. But basketball has been my whole life. My dad played in college at South Carolina State. My mom didn't play, but she loves basketball too. She's been around sports. She has a bunch of siblings and everything too. She's from the country, from Paxville, South Carolina. So they all about sports and stuff too. And then my granddad also played. He played in high school though, but he didn't play going on. He's a pastor. My dad is a pastor as well. So we have some religion in our family and everything too. But it's also like basketball and everything has been my life forever,
Okay,
and it will continue to be my life.
growing up in South Carolina, where did basketball really we hear from your family, but where did it
Hmm.
start to grow more with was it like AAU or high school basketball?
Ooh,
Yeah, tell
that's a
us a
good
little bit about
question.
that.
I would say it was more when like when I was a kid, like when I was a baby. I used to watch a lot. My dad watched a lot of basketball, so he instilled a lot of different things into me. Just watching it as a kid and stuff. I didn't grow up watching a whole lot of cartoons and all that stuff. I was more on just ESPN basketball, and then hearing the stuff on ABC and then ESPN, those big networks when those games come on. So just being around basketball has always been like that's just been me, and then everything else has been involved as well. And then AAU started when I was 8 years old. My first year playing AAU, we were terrible. We were losing every game. I used to cry every game and, and all that stuff. But then that next year, I went to the South Carolina Ravens. It's a lot of good players that came from that team, like Ja Morant and all those guys in the organization. But I played for them, and then we were, I think, third in the nation my first year playing with the Ravens. And after that, we just kept growing and everything. Like, it's a bunch of different players that's from South Carolina that played on the Ravens and know about the Ravens, won a lot of state championships and stuff like that. But we grew up in the gym. Our coaches, I attribute a lot of my success to the coaches that helped us when we were growing up, instilling all these different characteristics into us and different things that helped us with our mindset going through all the stuff that we went through right now. Like I look back on what they taught us when we were younger, and then like everything that they taught us is all coming around full circle. Just how about having a strong mindset, just about pushing through, about going on to the next thing, and then not dwelling on the past, and then just working on your game, staying in the gym, staying locked in, keeping the main thing. And that's just been like my whole approach going into the basketball career.
Preach.
So, so when you're playing in AAU and you're kind of
Hmm.
gathering all this team, as you said, the third ranked team, is is there like we know as the recruitment process for college is obviously crazy and nowadays with everything changing, which we'll get into, but is it kind of
True.
similar like on a high school level? Like, are you a little bit kind of being such a big name even at that time, being so young? You said, when you started at 8, I'm sure it was kind of growing. Is it a similar
Yeah.
situation where guys are trying to get you to go to certain high schools, or just like that's your decision, like whatever high school makes the most sense to you is where you're going?
Well, it's a lot different now. Now you got so many other different outlets. So you got NIL and all that stuff going, and then you can transfer high schools. But the time like going in middle school and seeing what high school I wanted to go to. It was a lot different then. And basketball has changed a whole lot in like in my state, in the states as well. Like it's not as competitive anymore. It's more about getting the highlight out. It's more about like wanting to look good instead of actually wanting to win a game and then grow relationships with players and teams and then grow into basketball and love the game per se. So, it's a lot. It's changing a lot right now. I can't say that for every player that's in basketball right now, but I can see it's changing a whole lot. But when I was younger, like we were really competitive. We were wanting to win a national championship playing AAU. There wasn't a whole lot of showcase going on for coaches, and we weren't really thinking about like going into college and stuff. We were thinking about winning that tournament, winning that championship with our teammates that we had, going to the hotel, having fun, building those relationships with the brothers that I have right now. Like I grew up with a lot of my friends who I play AAU basketball with because we had those relationships growing up, and then and going to the hotels and then having fun, winning the games. But right now, like we weren't really thinking about college and all that stuff until like middle school and then high school. Like getting recruited for a high school, it wasn't as big because I went to a public school, but that's different if you go to like a prep school or different schools that recruit guys to come over there and they want to play on the next level against like some of the top schools in the nation. But I played in more of a public school where you go to the school that's zoned from where you live in your house and everything. So I didn't have a whole lot of opportunities to get a lot of looks from colleges. And plus in South Carolina, we don't get a lot of publicity on basketball because we're more of a football state too. So there's not a whole lot of basketball going on that we are able to get our names out there and actually be on scene to be recruited.
And then going forward and starting your recruitment process for college, did you have your AAU guys around, your AAU coaches helping you with that? And then how did that
Yeah.
whole process look like for you?
Yeah, coming out of high school, my AAU coach Brian Brown, he's probably one of the best coaches I've ever had. Brian Brown, you can look him up and stuff like he coaches at Sumter. He's his son is gonna be good too. BJ Brown, he can hoop, lefty, he can shoot and everything too. But he really helped me and helped my teammates get into college and everything. Really put our names out there. But he gave us the tools in order for us to really really reach where we wanted to reach.
So was he kind of for you, as you mentioned, someone that you trusted throughout this whole process? Because in a lot of our interviews, especially now, like in this NIL time, it's kind of hard to understand who's got your best interest in mind and like who's really looking out for you. So at this stage, I don't what
Before.
this is
It's
before
like a
NIL.
year or two before, right?
Yeah,
So
this was like
he's
I
still,
came
oh
out of
yeah,
high school
continue. Tell us about that.
2019. Yeah, I came out of high school 2019. So yeah, it was 2 years before NIL thing, before COVID as well too. So yeah, I think coming out of high school, it wasn't a whole lot of us looking for money. It was like the best situation possible for like going into the next level and everything. So he really helped us. And the coaches that were recruiting us weren't really giving us throwing us $500,000 deals and stuff like that. It was
Yeah.
it was like more of just you can come in, you're gonna have to work. Everything's not gonna be guaranteed. So that really just put a different fire in players in that time.
Why don't you talk about actually picking Iowa State ultimately?
Oh yeah, I would say I was in Las Vegas for our last AAU basketball tournament, and then Coach Steve Prohm and Coach Kane. Coach Kane coached at Murray State, and Steve Prohm coached at Murray State when I think it was before Ja got there, but Coach Kane was there as an assistant coach when Ja was there, and then John Morant told him about different players in South Carolina and everything, and then they took a liking into my game, came and watched me in Las Vegas, and they liked what I was doing, and then Coach Kane really sat me down and then talked to me a whole lot, gave me some good things that I can take into Iowa State, and then that was really my recruiting going into then, and I wanted to play on a Power Five level and be able to play against some of the top guys in the nation because that's always been my dream, and then I just had the opportunity, so I took it.
And 2 years into Iowa State, I believe
Mhm.
that third year that you're there, 2021 to 2022, that's
Yeah,
around when the NIL starts and
for
picks
sure.
up.
Mhm.
Is there
Yes.
something happening in the locker room? Is there something that the coaches are telling you while you're there ahead of the season that they kind of informed you, all right, you can start making
Yeah.
money now? How did that process go?
Yeah, they did actually, but I think, like our coach is Coach TJ Otzelberger. He's a great coach too. Like he's one of the best coaches in the nation, as you can see with the success that they've having. But they really just prepared us for like this different things that were gonna happen. We used to have like team meetings, in the coach's room, and they'll just tell us like different things we need to look for on social media, how to leverage the social media age and everything that's going into the NIL situations. And then they told us just to lock in on basketball. That's the main thing right now. Just want to win games, and ultimately that led us to going to the Sweet 16, despite having like different things that were going on with NIL and different distractions that people were having. Because that year before, we had a tough season at Iowa State during COVID and everything. Went 2-22, so he was really just rebuilding a basketball team rather than really focusing on all the other distractions that were going on outside of basketball for real.
So making it into the Sweet 16 in that year,
Hmm.
I said before, we have a ton of athletes that are here that we interview and playing D1. A lot of them like just don't make it to the tournament or especially that far. And we know it's such a unique tournament. Like we've had guys that played in every tournament all over the world, but every single one of them kind of gets caught up on like the magic that is the March Madness tournament. So tell us a little bit about your experience with that and maybe kind of the understanding of once you're there, it's the anybody can beat anybody world and like how different that is from a normal tournament and just ultimately the hype that's involved with that tournament that makes it so different than anything else.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was a great experience too. We had a great run. I think we beat it was in we lost to Miami, beat Wisconsin, and then we I forgot who we played the first game. Can't think of it
Doesn't
right.
matter, beat
LSU.
them.
Yeah, it doesn't we beat them. But like our team was so connected that year. Like we had a bunch of guys that were hooping. Isaiah Brockington was killer from the mid range, one of the best scorers in the nation as well. And then Tyrese Hunter was young and he was killing everybody. And it was a great experience. Gabe Kalsher, our sniper, George Condit, he's playing overseas as well. We had a bunch of good experience on that team. A bunch of great players. Alias Kunc, he's in Poland as well. And we had a bunch of good players on that team. And then just the energy of playing in the Sweet 16 was like it's something that you don't. It's like once in a lifetime experience. Like it's definitely once in a lifetime experience for players that go to college and really accomplish those types of things. So, being in that environment, I really wanted to get back, but it was just tough. When I went to Western Carolina, we tried to win in the tournaments and everything, but we lost in those tournaments. But that Sweet 16, getting back to the tournament, being in those environments were really great. And I feel like once you get them, you can really feel the energy. Even if you're not there, you watching the game on TV, you watching the highlight on your phone, you can feel everything that's going on, all the emotions, all the love, and everything too. So I feel
So
like the March Madness is great. It's really madness in that March.
I believe it. Well, speaking of your teammates, you did play with Halliburton for a little bit briefly at the beginning
Yeah.
of your career. So, I like to hear, obviously, a guy who's having as much success as he did. Was there anything you kind of noticed in the moment that set him apart and was like such a magical player as we're seeing he is right now?
Everything you're seeing right now is what he was when we was in college too. Like he was Tyrese Haliburton. Like that was my guy too. We was do a lot of things together. He's my guy. He could shoot it. Everybody was used to get on this shot, but it's like it's going in. Like you can see, he makes the right plays all the time. Pushes the break, the pace. He plays for the exact team for who. Like the name of the team are the Pacers, and they got the best pace in basketball right now. And he's the one orchestrating the offense. He was orchestrating the offense in college. He's a leader, and I took a lot of like different things away from Tyrese, like different nuggets that he taught me just by me observing him telling teammates, just being able to listen. And he was also a great listener as well, and great communicator. Just somebody that I really look up to when I was playing back. Well, when I went to Iowa State as well, being a freshman coming in, me and Caleb Grill, we were like the only freshmen on the team because we had some other guys that didn't really make it, but me and Caleb Grill really took under what Tyrese was teaching us, and then really all the other guys on that team were just great teammates as well. We would have went far if Tyrese didn't get hurt, like late in the middle of that season, but it was a great season despite even those things.
crazy that the players voted for him to be the most underrated player. Look what he's doing
That's
right now.
Yeah.
basketball. They always if it ain't pretty, they ain't really gonna. If it ain't Kyrie Irving and guys like that, Kyrie my favorite player, but it ain't like if you ain't cooking 1-on-1 and really making it look pretty out there, they don't really like it. But
Yeah,
you can see it's effective right now. He's going
for
to the
sure.
finals.
Yeah, he's cooking. But bringing it
Mm,
back to you, we talk about moving over from Iowa State to Western Carolina. The numbers just talk crazy. Like you go from scoring 4 points a game to scoring 16 points a game, averaging double
mm,
in minutes per game. Um,
for sure.
Getting into that transfer portal during the NIL, I think you're our second player that has entered the transfer portal like during
Mm.
NIL. What is that like? Going in, did you have to think about money? Who's in your ear? What are
Nah.
coaches saying to you? And how was that process actually like?
Transferring from Iowa State, it's really about all about timing and opportunity and then trust. Like Coach Justin Gray, he played overseas. He played at Wake Forest. He played with Chris Paul and everything, and I really looked up to him as well. He was a great player. He's a great guy as well. Like you can really talk to him about anything. And when he was recruiting me, Russell Jones, he was at Winthrop, and Coach Gray was a GA at Winthrop as well with Russell. But Russell has been my friend since we've been 7 years old playing AAU. He played in Switzerland last year, well this year. He had a great season as well. But we've been friends and we've been brothers since we've been little, and then having the opportunity to play with him, going to Western Carolina as well. I was like, no money can equivalent to anything that people are offering me over just playing with my brother, having the opportunity to play at Western Carolina. It's a small market, but we made some noise. We had Vontaze Woolbright, who had a great season. He was killing. He was one of the best players in the country, and our teams were one of the best teams in the country too. We beat some top teams, and then we just didn't ultimately end up on where we wanted to end. But that's basketball as well. Win some, lose some. But transferring, I wasn't thinking about money at all. I wanted to play. I love the game, and I knew money was going to come on the back end. It's all about the work that you put in and the time and the effort. And you don't chase money; just let money chase you.
I noticed that you actually had a game there where you scored 47. What
Oh
what
yeah.
what what are the feelings like when you're scoring at such a high level in a D1 game?
When they talk about like when you see players like in the NBA and everything talking about flow and stuff like that, like you really get in that flow and where your mind is just free, feeling conscious. But like during that game, I wasn't really thinking about scoring. It was about like really just winning the game. Like we were down most of the game as well, so it was about just doing what I could in order to help the team win. So I was hitting shots. They put me in the best position possible to hit shots. I was in my bag, and then I was really just locked in at that time. But scoring has always been one of my fortes. I've always been having a lot of good games in high school and stuff like that. I know I can score. It's about the work that I put in. So that having a game like that, I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, I could probably do this again as well. It didn't happen, but it's like because of course other colleges make adjustments, defense make adjustments, so they didn't really gonna allow me to score 50 points every game when I feel like I could score at least 30 every game. But that's basketball as well. But yeah, really, that game is really just it touched my heart. I was like, it's all God, like all God and the work that I put in those prior years and everything too.
So when you arrive at Western Carolina and you obviously have this bigger responsibility as part of the team, I'm curious if that what was that transition like going from a school where you were, part of the overall squad, but you weren't the
Mhm.
lead guy, and now you're at Western Carolina and you're putting up these numbers and you're probably, I'm assuming you're like become a much stronger leader for the team. And I'm
Mhm.
curious, as we'll get to your time in Europe as going on right now, but did that kind of prepare you for what it's like to kind of show up in a new place and really be able to learn the system, put your work in, and eventually become a leader?
Yeah, for sure. And then actually coming out of high school, going to Iowa State, 17 hours away from home as a freshman and stuff like that, going into a new environment, I've always like that really helped me just have a good mindset going into new environments as well. So when I went to Western Carolina after I transferred, going into the mountains, being outside and getting in nature, different things like that, being able to meditate, free my mind on different things, and then adjust to anything, and then having people around you that support you, having a brother on your team that can trust you in those situations in basketball and everything. He knows what you can do. A coach that trusts you, a coaching staff that trusts you, wants to be put in the best positions. A family that supports you as much as possible. I know a lot of people don't have that, but just having just those little things, the little things that matter, really helped me transition into where I'm at right now and be able to take this overseas.
Right. And eventually your college career runs up 5 years
Yeah.
in the NCAA. Great
Hmm.
career, man. But
Appreciate
then
it.
you decide to take your talents overseas.
Hmm.
Where in the summer are you kind of talking to an agent? Who's the people that you're kind of surrounding yourself with? And is there any advice that you took from other guys to ultimately come to Poland?
Yeah, I surrounded myself with the same people I've been surrounding myself with when I've been little, and they just always gave me advice. Like I have different like coaches and stuff throughout South Carolina who always gave me get different nuggets and different advice, and I've always taken it, and it's always helped. My dad has been a great. great person for me in order to help because he knows a lot of people that played overseas. He knows a lot of people that play in the NBA and stuff like that, and he knows just what it takes in order to be where I want to be and have a good mindset in order to actually thrive as a professional athlete. So, I have a lot of good people that played overseas. Like Coach Justin Gray, he really helped me too. Like he played 14, 15 years overseas and had some great seasons. And then actually just him talking to us, sitting us down in Western Carolina and really giving us the real life like advice on what's gonna happen. It helped me a whole lot coming overseas and then choosing Poland as well. And during the summer, I was in Las Vegas and then like the people from Poland, from Krosno, Poland came and talked to me personally one on one. And we were just talking and they just it all sounded so great. It wasn't even about anything financial. It was just about the basketball opportunity. It was about the life opportunity and different things that they were going to help me with, and in a way that I could help the team as well. So yeah, it was good going all through.
Were you in Vegas for summer league or?
Yeah, it was our agency. I went with the JCK agency, and we had like an event or whatever, something surrounding like the agency and everything, where coaches could come in and watch from different overseas or NBA G League teams and stuff like that. So they watched, and then yeah, we were just in Vegas for that. I wasn't in for the summer league though.
Yeah. Did your other boy from South Carolina who's playing in Poland now also have something to do with coming to Poland?
No, he's in Switzerland though, but no, he didn't have nothing to do with Poland.
Elias, no?
Oh, Elias, Eli Ellis.
Maybe.
All right,
I don't
skip it,
Elias,
skip
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I have
yeah.
a question
But
for
what's
you
it? Say
about.
say it. It's Elias. I know an Elias. There's
I
a
don't know.
lot of
You said
Eliases
something
out there.
about another player you knew that's also playing in Poland now.
Oh, Aliyaj Kunch. Yeah, he played at Iowa State with me too, but I
Oh
didn't.
yeah,
He
Iowa
didn't really
State.
have any. Yeah, he didn't really have any thing with me coming to Poland. I just found out that he was in Poland when I came to Poland as well.
Oh no way.
Was when was the moment where you kind of like you have this conversation in Vegas and you're like you sounds good, everything sounds great, and then when's the moment where you kind of like open your eyes and you're on the flight to Poland and you're about to like change your whole life and it was about to be a a big moment for your development as a person and a player. So did you kind of have one of those moments? Was it when you started playing here in Europe or was it like on the plane on the way over that you're like, wow, this is the next step in my life?
Yeah, like just like you said, when I was on the plane, I was like, it's time to get to it for real. Like I was even before I got on the plane, I was at my mom's house in the backyard, sitting in the grass. I was just looking. I was like, it's that time. Like this is what I put my work in for. It's time to get to it. It's my rookie year. I might as well just go in and lock in, and then take everything that I've learned over the years, apply it now. Let God guide me, and I know that everything was gonna be all right. Just having a good mindset going into it. So, yeah, just when I was on the plane, I landed. I was in Poland. I walked outside, outside the airport. I was like, this what
All
it
right.
is right here. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
I thought you were gonna say it was like negative 30 degrees and snowing and
Nah,
you're like,
it was sunny. Like it's sunny
Oh,
right now. I don't
Sonny.
know if you can see. Yeah,
okay.
it's sunny outside right
I didn't
now.
know Poland was like that, man. I thought it was snow all the
Yeah.
time.
So we
Nah, it's
got
nice over here.
we got about 10 minutes left on
Okay.
this call. Um Arriving to Poland, you say rookie year, and you're like, it's
Hmm.
time to get it. And you went and
You
you went
got it.
to you got it. You got the MVP. I'm just gonna read some stats that to me are pretty crazy. You played 45
Appreciate it.
games, first of all. That's like
Yeah.
something that we don't really hear often for guys coming overseas. We usually hear in between like 25 to like 35, but 45
Hmm.
is a lot. Playing
It is.
1,458 minutes total. 32 minutes a game of
Hmm.
those 45 games, and you were averaging 19 points a game on 55% shooting. You went 135 for 160 from the free throw line, 85%.
Really, really get into the stats
Yeah,
here.
I mean, you went wild. You had a great first year overseas, and going into the playoffs, played terrific. You guys won the chip. What was it about the playoff atmosphere in Poland that excited you a bit?
It was great, but you said 135 for 161 from the free throw line.
Yeah.
Ah, I needed that to be like 160 for 161. I work my free throws so much that hurt, but yeah. But the playoffs were great. Like here in Poland, the atmosphere, the fans are wonderful. I played in Krosno. It's not a big market team, but the atmosphere and the family here is just great. And then playing on these different stages, playing against some of the players that are over here, they they don't get a lot of time to really develop as players over here in Poland, what they tell me, because they don't have an opportunity to play pickup. They don't have an opportunity to get one-on-one work with trainers and stuff like that. So, they're really developing players over here that they just watch basketball and then they take different things from what they see, incorporate into their own game, and then they play very physical too. So that helped me a lot with the physicality of where basketball is going and where it's going to continue to go and continue to grow. Like the playoffs were great though when I played over here. It was a great series. Every series we had was a tough battle.
So what is it about this Polish league that's kind of helped your game specifically? Like how do you see it in a certain way that maybe things open up more for you and kind of allowed you to thrive the way you have?
Like I said, like the physicality of the Polish league is like you can bump. You can't do a whole lot of bumping in the NBA and different things in America, and probably in different in leagues in Europe as well. But like being able to bump a guy off his line and stuff, it's helped me a lot to get physical when I'm dribbling the ball, getting to the basket, finishing, and focusing on my finishing a whole lot more, and then finishing from the mid range as well, like scoring on all five levels. You got to the basket, you got floaters, you got mid range shot, 3-point shot, and even deeper. So, being able to score on those different five levels has helped me a whole lot. And then giving the opportunity that my coach gave me too, because I never got to play this way, like on a big level per se. Because in college, I was like a standing corner guy, come off screens, shoot threes, catch and shoot. And now I was handling the ball a whole lot more over here, really doing what I was doing in high school, but on an even grander level. So, I came over here. We had a good conversation with my coach. I was like, this is my first time being able to really attack the way that I know I can attack, and what I work on outside of just playing 5-on-5 and stuff like that. The different things that I work on one ability and stuff like that, and then getting my teammates involved, helping them thrive as well. And then they shoot great over here in Polish too. Almost everybody can shoot. Yeah, might have one or two players in the league that can't shoot, and then we scout those out with how anybody else would scout them, sit in the paint,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But everybody can shoot over here in Poland, so you make one mistake, so knock down three, one more, knock down three. Yeah, but playing over here has really helped me a lot with just like the physicality aspect and everything, and then really finishing, like being able to finish.
And your first year overseas, are you starting to kind of like tune into like EuroLeague, Euro Cup, Champions League games? Is that on your radar at all?
Oh, of course, over here they watch that all the time. They don't even care about NBA and all that stuff. We watch all the Euro League games, all the Champions Cup. We just watched the Final Four yesterday, and that was in Abu Dhabi.
Right.
So we was watching, yeah, Morocco and Fenerbahce, I think. So we were just
Yeah.
watching those games, and yeah, it's a lot of similarities with the way that they play over here in Poland and those different Euro Cup and the Euro League games as well. So that's all they watch over here. That's
So
really what I've been tuning in a whole lot to.
yeah, after your first year now overseas, do you have kind of an idea of something that you're looking forward to for the next year?
Right now, I'm just looking to go to the next level. That's the main thing. I don't really have any grand outlook on what's going to happen, but I know something's going to happen that's going to be even better than where I'm at right now. So it's just about staying in the moment. I've always been just a stay in the moment person, and right now, after the game, people ask me, "Am I staying? Am I going?" and stuff like that. I don't really know. Like I ain't even talked to my agent about it or anything. So we'll just see. We'll just see where we go from here, and then let God handle the rest.
Yes, sir. Summing it up a little bit, first year overseas, coming out of college, coming from Western Carolina, MVP season, win the
Yeah.
championship. How is it? How can you relay a message to younger guys that are coming in overseas and kind of share how your first year was?
It was great. What I can relay is trust yourself, trust the work, trust the people around you. Be able to detach away from like distractions and all that stuff. Stay in the gym. Stay locked in. Don't worry about the stuff that's going on the media and all that stuff. Don't worry about what other people's lives are going on. Don't compare yourself to other people. Just be yourself, know thyself, knowledge yourself, and is the most powerful thing in order to really get to where you want to be. And then I came here and really visualizing and meditating. Like they say, your brain is powerful. Like you can really do different things with your brain if you really just lock in. And I practice a lot of breath work and things like that and meditation. And that really helped me like really see everything that was going to happen. And it happened the way that it happened, like just aligning, like God really aligned everything the way I wanted it to align and the way he wanted it to align as well. Probably not on my time, but always on God's time. So, I was preseason MVP. I didn't even know that was going to happen, and then of the league MVP, and then all this, and then ultimately the Finals MVP as well. So, I just all I can say is just trust God, trust your work, and then trust in yourself, and that's all you got to do.
Yes, sir.
Keep going.
That's amazing. That's inspiring. All right, we don't want to let you go before doing a 24-second shot clock that we do with all of our guests. We're gonna give you
Or that-
24 seconds. Gonna ask you some rapid fire questions. You can say skip, like skip is fair, but
All right.
we'll see how many you can get. We'll maybe learn something about you too. But we'll
I'll put it up right
we'll
here for you.
we'll do it on the side.
Bet.
But okay, let's go.
All right.
Ready? You ready, John?
You ready? You going first?
All right.
3, 2, 1, go.
Favorite Polish food?
Pierogi.
Dream teammate?
Oh, Kyrie Irving.
One country you'd want to hoop in.
Spain.
Favorite athlete outside of ball.
Ooh, that's a great question. Michael Vick. Outside
Dunker?
of ball?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
outside of
dunker or
basketball.
three? Dunker or three?
Three.
If you
Favorite.
weren't playing basketball, what would you be doing?
If I wasn't playing football.
All
There you
right.
go.
Good.
We get that answer a lot.
I think at 26 seconds.
Yeah,
Nice.
dude. Thank you
No,
so
actually,
much.
actually, actually, I want to say if I wasn't playing basketball, I'll be either making some music or something too. That's always on my list.
Okay.
Getting
Okay,
in that
Okay.
nice,
studio.
nice. We see
Yeah.
that.
You drop a clip of your freestyle or something. We'll post
Put
it
it in
as
the
well.
episode.
Bet that. I got you for sure.
Dude, appreciate you coming on, and we know it was short, but it's just it's a great place for us to talk about your story and how you can be an inspiration and successful, and to other people around the
Mhm.
world, whoever's listening to this. So thank you again, and congratulations on a great season. And we'll be following you and see what you do next.
Thank you,
All
brother.
right, thank
Best
you,
of
man.
luck.
Appreciate you. Always. Thank you. All love.
Yes, sir.